Hey friends, happy Sunday and welcome back to another week of What's for Dinner. If you're new here, hello and welcome. I'm Taylor. I'm a stay-at-home wife and mom, and I share these What's for Dinner videos every week on Sunday to hopefully give you some new meal ideas and to motivate you to cook more for your family. That's the whole reason I started doing these videos, was to motivate myself by showing y'all like new recipes every week, getting myself in the kitchen and not ordering fast food or something. So that's why I started it, to get myself in the kitchen. I try to share like 2 to 3 new recipes every week, as well as just showing y'all everything that we ate every other day, just because I like to share the real life. You know, I don't cook every day, but doing these videos definitely does help me cook more. So I'm going to go ahead and get into this week's What's for Dinner. So Friday night, it was actually just my husband, Andy, and I. The kids had their first sleepover at their great-grandmother's house, and it went really, really well. Elijah had never spent the night anywhere before, and Lily hadn't since she was like 3. So I wasn't expecting it to go great, but it did. It went absolutely amazing. But yeah, so we didn't have them at home, and Andy actually had to work late, so we couldn't like go out to dinner or anything. And I didn't really feel like cooking dinner, so I just made some frozen pizza. We had the 3-meat rising crust pizza, and I used the Mike's Hot Honey on that. It's delicious on pepperoni pizza, but it was also good on the 3-meat. And then we tried the Sam's Choice Philly cheesesteak pizza, and it was pretty good. It had a little bit too many green peppers, like more than I would like, but I just picked those off. But the flavor was pretty good, so I would recommend that. And we just had that with some salad. Saturday night, I tried a new recipe. This is supposed to be like a copycat Taco Bell Meximelt. I don't think I've ever had a Meximelt from Taco Bell, and I think now they're discontinued, but I've seen this recipe a couple times in the past like couple of weeks on TikTok and Pinterest and Instagram, and it looked really simple and really good, so I had to give it a try. So I'm just starting off by cooking up 1 pound of ground beef with some taco seasoning. I always add seasoning at the beginning, but then add some more later. Even if you have to drain off the grease and you drain off a little bit of the seasoning, I feel like it just gives you more flavor and it's more flavorful having the seasonings like cooked into the meat. So once the meat was done, I didn't really have any grease to drain off, so I just added a little bit of water and some more taco seasoning, and then let that simmer for a good bit until that water cooks off. And then once it was done, we had to prepare our Meximelts. So I just have some burrito size flour tortillas that I heated up in the microwave for about 45 seconds between some damp paper towels. And then I topped those with a bunch of cheese. I did a mixture of cheddar and the quesadilla cheese from Walmart. And then on the kids, I just did some Taco Bell mild sauce. And then on mine, I did some mild sauce as well as some salsa. And then some of the ground beef, and then you just roll these up like a burrito, and then you can brown them on each side in a skillet until they just get like nice and golden and a little bit crispy. We just had these with some chips and salsa and the El Terrifico cheese dip from Sam's Club. These were delicious. I will definitely make them again. It's a great alternative to tacos when everybody wants tacos, but also like you're kind of sick of tacos. And these are simple to put together. Sunday night, I started off by bringing a pot of salted water to a boil and then cooking up 8 ounces of linguine noodles. The recipe that I am making this night is called chicken tetrazzini, and every other recipe that I've ever seen for chicken tetrazzini has mushrooms in it, but this one did not, so that's why I finally decided to try it, and it looked really good and pretty easy to make. I did half this recipe because I wasn't sure how it was going to go over with my family, and it seemed like it was going to make a lot, and halving the recipe, there was still enough for leftovers. So I think whenever I make it again in the future, as long as I'm not like making it for a crowd, I will keep it at half the recipe. So in a big bowl, I've got a 1/4 cup of butter, 1 can of cream of chicken, a cup of sour cream. I added some seasonings in here, like some garlic powder and some salt and pepper that the recipe didn't call for, and a 1/4 cup of chicken broth and some parsley, and then I just stirred that all together really well. And then the meat that I am using, the recipe calls for 4 chicken breasts, like cooked, But instead of doing that, I used 2 cans of canned chicken breast. I know not everybody loves canned chicken, but I find it great in some recipes, and I thought that this was a great use of the canned chicken. I usually use it a lot in like chicken and rice dishes, but I thought it would be good in this, and it did. It turned out pretty good. So I got that mixed in there with the sour cream and everything. And then when my pasta was done, I added that in and got everything combined. And then I transferred this to a casserole dish. And then I topped this with some mozzarella cheese and some Parmesan cheese. And then this went in the oven on 350 for 40 minutes. And here's what this looked like when it was done. I did also forget to mention that I did top it with some parsley as well. I let this sit for about 5 minutes before serving it up. We had it with a salad on the side for those of us that like salad. We all know Lily does not like lettuce. She won't do it, but she loves cucumbers and tomatoes, so she had some of those. And this was delicious. I would definitely make it again, even with the canned chicken. I think it turned out great. Monday night I made smash burgers, and this is only the second time I've ever made smash burgers at home. The first time I did it on my like little panini press griddle thing, and they were just okay. They didn't get as crispy as I would have liked them to. So this time I decided to do them in my cast iron pan. And the only problem with doing that is I have to do them one at a time, which is kind of a pain, but it turned out really, really good. So I just roll my ground beef into like a little bit bigger than like a golf ball size, I would guess you would say. And I seasoned them, like one side of it with some salt and pepper. And then that side that had the salt and pepper is the side that I put down into the pan. And then I put a piece of parchment paper over top, and I used this little press that I bought on Amazon to flatten my beef patty, and then I just let it cook on that one side till it got nice and done, crispy. It doesn't take very long at all, like probably 2 minutes tops. And then you flip it, let it continue to cook, top it with a piece of cheese, and then it's done. And I'm going to show you, I had the other ones like sitting on a pan on low, covered with a lid, kind of keeping them warm, since as I said, I did have to cook them each individually, but it was well worth it. They were very, very good. Andy said it was probably the best homemade burger he's ever had, which I make some pretty good homemade burgers, so for it to be the best one he's ever had, that means it was really good. Smash burgers are just really good. So we had some lettuce, tomato, ketchup, mayo. Elijah decided to try lettuce on his burger for the first time. Lily decided to try tomato on her burger for the first time. They both loved it. We had our burgers with some tater tots and some watermelon. This was truly like a summer meal. Tuesday night I made a chili mac, so I'm going to be making mac and cheese in my Instant Pot and then just adding some chili to it. I had some chili in my freezer from the last time I made a chili in the crock pot, so I pulled that out, and I just like to stir it into mac and cheese. So I like to do 4 cups of elbow noodles and 4 cups of water. You could do less pasta if you want to. Just do equal parts water and pasta. And then whatever seasonings you like to do, I like to do chicken broth, so you could just do broth, but I add in some of the Knorr chicken bouillon, some dry mustard, some paprika, some garlic powder, really whatever you want. I've done Tony's Creole seasoning. Everything is good. I did some onion salt, and then just like a tablespoon of butter. Give that a good stir, pop the lid on, make sure it's sealed, and then I cook this on manual high pressure for 5 minutes. And then when it's done, I do a quick release to release all of that steam. So when you make mac and cheese in an Instant Pot like this, there's no need to drain any water. There's really not any water left over. It's like the perfect amount for your pasta. So I just stir it around, make sure the noodles aren't sticking together too much. And then I go in with a little bit of milk and some cheese. I think I did some cheddar and some mozzarella, and usually some Parmesan. It's always just a mixture of whatever cheese I have in my fridge and a little bit of milk or half and half or heavy cream, whatever I've got in my fridge. And I just add a little bit at a time until I get it to the right consistency that I want. There really is no measurements for this. You just do it till it's to your liking. And then once the mac and cheese is where you want it to be, I go ahead and add in my chili. I had I don't know, like 2 or 3 cups of chili, and I heated it up in the microwave so it was warm and I wasn't adding cold chili to my hot mac and cheese. And I just spooned that in there. I did kind of like ladle off some of the extra liquid because the chili does get a little extra liquidy when you defrost it. So I kind of like didn't add in all the liquid. That's why I didn't just like dump it in there. I just kind of spooned it in there, stirred it around. I think I ended up adding a little bit of extra cheese, and yeah, that's how you make chili mac, or at least that's how I make chili mac. Super easy. And I will have my chili video linked down below. It's a crock pot recipe. It's our favorite. We've been making it for like 10 years now, and it's really good. And to go with our chili mac, we just had some salad and fresh veggies on the side. Wednesday night, I made some pork fried rice. So I had this pork tenderloin. This is from Good Chop. If you're ever interested in trying Good Chop, you can check out my link down below. I earn a commission if you do use my link, and you also save $50 off of your first box. So I had this tenderloin, and it was kind of small. I think it was like 12 ounces. So I knew I needed to use it in something that would be filling, and I thought cooking it up and then dicing it up and adding it to fried rice would stretch the meat, since fried rice is pretty filling. You've got like egg and rice. So that is what I did, but I wanted to marinate it. So I had this sriracha teriyaki sauce from Aldi. So I just coated the meat in that and let it sit in the fridge in that sauce for a couple of hours. And then when it came time to cook it, I put it on my air fryer basket and then put it in the air fryer on 400, and this took about 17 minutes for it to be cooked to the proper internal temperature. And then I just let it rest for 5 minutes. While that was resting, I made my fried rice. I've made my fried rice many times here on my channel, so I will just have a video of that linked down below. And then I just diced up the pork when my fried rice was done and stirred that into the fried rice. And this was delicious. Since that was sriracha teriyaki sauce, the meat had just a little bit of spice, but because like the fried rice wasn't spicy, it was perfect. Like nothing was too spicy because you just got a little bit of spice from the pork. It was delicious, and I will definitely do that again. Use that sauce again. I have a little bit more left over, and I think maybe on some chicken would be really good. So I might do that in the future. But yeah, that was it for dinner this night. Just a big bowl of pork fried rice. Thursday night is our crock pot meal night because the kids have martial arts at 6:15, so we want to come home to something quick and easy. So I've got 2 chicken breasts here in the crock pot, and to that I'm adding this Parmesan garlic sauce. This is the Aldi version, but in the past I've used the Buffalo Wild Wings version. Both of them are good. This one has, I feel like, a little bit more spice to it than the Buffalo Wild Wings one. But yeah, they're both good. So I've got that whole bottle in here over my chicken, and then I fill that bottle up 3/4 of the way with milk and shake it up really well to get any of the remaining sauce out of the bottle. And then I add 8 ounces of cream cheese. Last time I did it, I used whipped cream cheese. This time I accidentally bought the wrong one, so I did not use whipped cream cheese this time, but it still turned out fine. And then I added in a bunch of Parmesan cheese. I do like the grated kind that's in the green bottle, and then I also did some freshly grated Parmesan cheese. And then I just stirred this up really well, tried to get everything mixed together. It's not going to mix together like the best because obviously cream cheese hasn't melted yet, but I just tried to get like the Parmesan cheese basically covered up and mixed together. And then I covered this with a lid and I cooked it on low for about 6 hours. And while that was cooking, before we left to go to martial arts, I actually prepared my pasta. I just boiled up a 16-ounce box of bow tie pasta, and then I coated it with some butter after I drained it and put it in a big Tupperware bowl and stuck it in the fridge. And then when I came home, my pasta was already cooked. I just heated it up in the microwave for like 45 seconds just to kind of like melt that butter again, and then I dumped the pasta in here into my crock pot with my meat once I've got it all shredded. So I took my little meat chopper, kind of shredded up my chicken, and then I took a spoon and kind of mixed everything together really well so the sauce was like nice and blended. Then I poured my pasta in, And then I added a little bit more Parmesan cheese on the top, let it sit for 5 minutes so that cheese could melt, and then this was ready to eat. And we had this with a salad, and it was delicious. Just as delicious as I remembered it being from like 7 or 8 months ago. That Parmesan garlic sauce is delicious. Just so delicious. Both the Aldi version and the Buffalo Wild Wings version, although they are slightly different, they are both super tasty. But that is going to be it for this week's What's for Dinner. I hope that you guys got some new meal ideas. If you did, let me know what you plan on trying in the comments down below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye!